important. And I kind of want to know where I stand. Okay, we got 12 minutes. Wow. All right. Well, since we have 12 minutes, let's go straight to the business at hand. This new healthcare law, that some of these provisions kick in. You heard me say that if you're under 26, you're now going to be able to be on your parents' insurance. Mm-hmm. Comment on that one, and then I'll get to the other ones. If you want to comment, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's interesting because I am 26.
Oh, okay.
And when I was 18 and I came to Pittsburgh, as a freshman at University of Pittsburgh,
right.
I came having no insurance.
Right.
And did not have insurance, through the 18 to 26-year-old, year age. And a lot of my friends at the University of Pittsburgh were kind of in that limbo period of trying to figure out, can I stay on my parents' insurance, but I am kind of independent? Do I claim a dependency? And it was very tricky for a lot of them to deal with that. And so I think this will help clear, the record that all of them, if they desire, and their parents obviously have insurance, will be able to stay.
Well, I'm actually going to read something, if I can find it. And I'm going to read this because it needs to be reheard even though we have the video. But I'm going to add something. Actually, I may not have to, but I did say that the insurance companies will have to implement several new measures upon renewal, which include no discrimination against children with pre-existing conditions, prohibiting against rescinding coverage, prohibition on lifetime limits on insurance coverage, and also allowing the children up to 26. So basically, starting tomorrow, the 23rd of September, no child that has a pre-existing condition, no child can be denied insurance based on their pre-existing condition. So if you take just allowing the other people from 18 to 26 to stay on there, you have millions more there that is going to help millions more of our fellow Americans. But then no child being discriminated against. Now, it does mention this, but I was listening to KQV 1410 KQV AM, 1410 AM KQV, and also KQV.com. And I happened to listen to, the president came on for a second, and I was listening, and I also found out, in addition to these provisions, there are going to be a lot of people now who have insurance who will no longer have to pay co-insurance, or co-insurances, and also a lot of people will no longer have to pay co-pays. Now, I don't know if that is relevant to myself. I don't know if it's relevant to Chris. I don't know if it's relevant to his sister Donna and Kathy, but I bring that up because having the idea of no co-pays and no co-insurance will literally save lives, because Donna Weiss just recently got released from, Donna's his sister, released from the hospital because she has some infection happening with her foot. They almost were not going to release her because she needs a home health care nurse. And the home health care nurse refused her insurance, which was Gateway Health Plan. And because that was refused, they literally were almost going to keep Donna in the hospital. So the idea of this health care reform may not be something you're for at first, but if you look at the fact that there's going to be people without copays, there's going to be more people who are going to be able to get insurance. You're not going to be able to deny children. I mean, just looking at those provisions alone, I think this may be one of the best laws that has ever been passed in America. I'd like your comments on that, like Chris's comments on that. We have about 9 minutes, and I want to mention something about the Port Authority. So let's quickly do our comments on the healthcare reform law. And I want to urge everyone to learn as much as you can about the new law. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of, quite frankly, lies out there. And ultimately, we're talking about saving the lives of children and senior citizens directly as a result of this bill. almost everybody in between in some form or another. So your thoughts on that, and why do you think 70% of Americans are against it? Your thoughts on all that, and then we'll go to Chris.
Well, it's interesting, and as a homeless minister, I'm related back to kind of my field, but obviously a lot of the homeless have these same issues, right? Health care, whether it's mental health or physical health care.
Right.
You talked about co-pays, medicines, insurance, all those different issues. But I think people resist it because just with any kind of change, you can't really predict it. It's unpredictable, and because of that, I don't know what to expect, and I can't, like you said, because of the lies, I have to navigate through what is the truth. Like you said in the tape roll, that the presentation hasn't been the clearest.
No, it hasn't.
And so because of that, I don't really know what's going on. The 3 or 4 provisions you just stated, I was not familiar with. And so
I thought everybody knew.
No, I was not familiar with that.
Well, I did something right then.
That's right. That's new information.
Tell everybody you know that too.
Exactly, and that's the thing, getting the information out so
Right.
that people are educated, and then they can make a better decision whether, yes, that makes sense for me, or no, it doesn't. But most of the time, people just say no because it's something different. And many times we serve the homeless, and sometimes you get that, right? Sometimes when you're trying to help a homeless person or someone in a situation like that, you're surprised that they don't want your help, right? You try to help them, and no, I'm okay, or I'll figure it out myself, and you wonder, why wouldn't you take this? Why wouldn't you take my help?
Right.
But it's the same issue of it's change. It's something different.
Right.
It's something it's unpredictable. They know how to do it themselves, and now you're trying to offer your services.
Right.
They don't know, and
it's
even though it might be the best for them, they don't know. They aren't used to it, and so it's difficult. So I think that's why you have a lot of people kind of on the fence about it and not really.
Well, I'll tell you what. The fact is that with this new law, there's a lot of other provisions, which I'm still working on, trying to get more information myself so that on October the 14th, I can really lay down the gauntlet. But I do know that as a direct result of this law, Medicare will remain solvent at least until 2029. That's an additional 12 years. So if you're not in favor of this bill for any of the reasons we spoke about, be in favor for this reason. Your family member who is over 50 years old, 65, whatever, they're not gonna have to worry about their Medicare for at least till 2029. Now, Chris, real quickly, because we probably only have about 6 minutes or less. Your thoughts on the new health care law? We have 5 minutes, so try to keep it down to a minute so we can throw in something else.
One thing that I am concerned about is, with this new health care law, would it be able to cut down on the abuse in nursing homes?
I don't think this particular law will help that or not help that, but I do believe it is time to do.
There's a lot of abuse in nursing homes.
Right. And I don't think this law will do it, but we can work toward that on the future shows. With that, let's quickly talk about the bill in the state of Pennsylvania. We got give you about a minute to talk about that bill in the state of Pennsylvania that will stop abuse and mistreatment.
There's a bill out there to stop abuse and mistreatment from the age of 19 to 59. And what it is it puts agencies at risk for abuse. And the way this state bill is written is anybody right now, for you to report abuse, you have to do it yourself.
Right.
Well, now with this new bill that's been introduced, and that's Senate Bill 699, anybody can report abuse and has no statute of limitations.
Good. That's good.
And
so we want to get people to vote. Call up their senators and legislators.
Right,
correct?
and it's Senate Bill 699, and what happens is if abuse is reported, and the agencies sweep it under the rug like they do now, then they could lose their license. The license will be suspended, and that means that the people that work for that agency will be laid off, and then the people that go to those agencies, that agency would have to find them alternative placement until their suspension is over at the expense of that agency.
Well, I think that's great. I support Senate Bill 699. I support it 100%. Probably have about a minute left. So
But one thing that I like to add is, Al and I had something to do with that because we went to Senator Costa's office.
Yes, we did.
And we told him all the issues. So, so Senator Costa had a lot to do with getting this bill introduced.
You know, I want to thank
Senator Costa.
Thank you, Senator Costa. And also, on the next Humanity Matters, October the 14th, we're going to speak about that again. And for the agencies out there that has swept abuse under the rug, we know you exist. We haven't been able to defeat you yet. But mark my words, September the 22nd, 2010, I never back down. You may think that I'm out of the game, but just when you think I'm out of the game, I'm like the seasons, I come right back. Not only am I coming back, I'm coming back 5 times harder than before. So for you that think you got away with abuse, oh, my cannibal days in the movies ain't nothing compared to what I'm going to do with you guys legally and peacefully.
Another thing is,
you're not getting away with it.
Another thing is, the Department of Human Services allowed things to happen.
Well, that's why I call them the Department of Inhumane Services. But at any rate, with that, real quick to Tom Corbett and Dan Honorado, I don't know which one of you are going to win this election. But if you allow our transportation to go down the tubes, we will fight for a referendum to have the entire government of Pennsylvania null and void. We'll kick you all out. You save the lives of these Americans. My fellow Pittsburghers in Pennsylvania, don't let Port Authority go down even though they ain't doing their job. Everybody remember that wrong hand, humanity really does matter.
Charlie was a humble man, born deaf, mute, and blind. He sold pencils down on the corner for a nickel, 3 for a dime. Refusing to stand in a welfare line, he wasn't one to complain. And long after he passed on, fond memories of his smile remain. If a picture's worth